Hello and thanks for joining us. This is RxTI Talks, and I'm Adam Chassie. We're visiting today with Jeff Kasher, the Vice President of Clinical Development at Eli Lilly. Over the next few minutes, we'll be learning how Lilly has gone about improving site relationships, as well as getting Jeff's thoughts on globalization and more.
We're actually doing three different things that come to top of mind. One, we're being much more intentional when we're discussing a study with a site to ensure that their capability and interest aligns with the needs of the study. Second, we're being a lot more articulate and specific with the sites in terms of defining our expectations for the site. And third, and probably most critical to us, we've put in place a clinical development liaison role that goes beyond just a single study. And the focus there is to really build strong relationships with the sites, with the investigators, with the study coordinators, so we can learn more about them, their capabilities, they can understand us better, and they always know that they have a specific individual that they can reach out to when they have a question. One metric that we like to look at, and I think everyone in the industry looks at, is the number of non-enrolling trial sites, okay? And we've seen that when we functionally source a trial, so we have that relationship with our clinical development liaison, the number of non-enrolling sites has gone down by over half, and we're running in about 6 to 8% of our trials have non-enrolling sites. When we project source studies, we're more like the industry norm, and we're about 20 to 25%. So we're very encouraged. The other thing we do is we run an annual global survey of all of our sites, and we ask them very specific questions seeking feedback so we can improve in how we interact with them and run our trials. Our scores have gotten better, and we have implemented changes which we've received good feedback. One example would be we got a lot of feedback that we have to go through the same training for Lilly no matter how many different times we've run studies, so non-protocol specific training. And we took the feedback, and now when someone has completed the training, they just document that they've already completed the training, they don't have to do it, and so it cuts down on the amount of time that the site and the study personnel have to spend to prep for the trial. One, they should expect simpler study designs. It's one of the challenges across the industry. You bring together scientists and they always want to try to get one more question answered in a trial. As we're trying to get more efficient and cost effective, we have to run trials where we're in the most effective manner answering the key questions that we need about a molecule's safety and its efficacy. Second thing that sites should expect is more efficiency around site monitoring. So source data verification, monitoring visits. As we go to more risk-based monitoring, as we go to more centralized monitoring, that should result in more efficiency and actually from a site perspective be less intrusive in terms of how they're running the trial and their daily business. As you well know, the average site, or many sites, I don't know if you'd say the average, the turnover is very high. Sites will participate in trials for 2 to 3 years and then they just say no mas, we've had it. I think one of the largest drivers there is just an underestimation of the time and infrastructure it takes to run a clinical trial. So I think the thing that we as pharma could do is spend more time with new sites or potential sites and explain to them just what it really is going to take to run a clinical trial in terms of the time commitment and most importantly in terms of the infrastructure they need to run trials by today's standards. I just saw some KMR data that said for pharma-sponsored trials which completed enrollment between 2005 and 2010, 90% of them included sites in North America. And then if you just look at the breakdown from an industry standpoint, a little more than a third of the sites come from North America, a little less than a third come from Europe, and the remaining third come from the remainder of the world. If I look at historically where Lilly's run trials, That's pretty consistent with where we've run trials in the past. And as I look at where we're taking our portfolio of trials over the next several years, I really don't see that much of a change in that distribution.
RxTI Talks is brought to you by the Rx Trials Institute. Thank you for watching. Join us for more episodes, each highlighting some of clinical research's most innovative companies and individuals. Looking for more great thinking? Join the conversation at the Site Solutions Summit this October at the PGA National Resort in Palm Beach Gardens. Proudly hosted by the Rx Trials Institute, this year's summit brings together more sites, sponsors, and CROs than ever before. Visit www.sitesolutionssummit.com and register today before the seats sell out.